Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. Keto living is the life for me. Coffee, cooking, and recipes. Spending my days with my doggies. So be a sport. Set your alarm for Wednesdays for the Warden's
Welcome
Report.
to the Warden Report. Do y'all remember when it was fashionable where all the ladies would put their hair on one side and walk around? Or even, the ponytail on one side? Do you remember that? Yeah, so here's all my hair on one side. I just washed it last night, so does it look shinier? I know I need my roots touched up, but just don't want to. I hate spending that kind of money, y'all. Like you really look at the difference there. Blonde, red. Oh. So yeah, I should get it done. I don't know. I'm thinking. Let me know y'all's opinion. What do you think about doing your hair at home? Like, should I go through doing that? I mean, I kind of understand it. I've watched it done enough. Separate my hair and go and do it, or shell out the $200. Obviously, this would be in February, but oh my gosh! And I was, if you're new here, I talk about whatever comes to my mind. I go over like the foods that I eat because I am keto, so I show basically what I eat, right? So you can get ideas. Some people tell me that helps them. So thank you for anybody who leaves me comments like that about anything that I help you with. It really means the world to me. Because sometimes I'm like, do I need to post my food again? Really, everybody eats, right? But yeah, I post that. Of course, I get my coffee, y'all. I have my coffee. My 1 cup of coffee. And I actually clarified. So this is something funny. I think it was on the live where we were talking about a cup of coffee. And I'm like, yeah, I have 1 cup of coffee a day. And they're like, Shelly, that's 8 ounces is a cup. And I'm like, no. And I want to know your opinion right here. To me, a cup of coffee, and look, that is my beautiful coworker, my sister. Isn't she adorable? She is the cutest ever. I just think she's so cute, y'all. Tell me, do you think, this is my opinion, and I asked at work as well, and I said, to me, a cup of coffee is whatever cup I'm using. So if I say, oh, I had a cup of coffee, it is like a mug like this. It's like a 16-ounce mug. Or sometimes it's a 20-ounce mug. Whatever the mug is, that is 1 cup. I don't go by however many ounces. I don't go, oh, okay, so I had 2 cups today in this 1 cup. No, this is 1 cup. Let me know your thoughts on it. Is that how you count it? I asked at work, and they agreed with me. It's 1 cup. You measure your cups of coffee by however mugs of coffee you end up having that day. So I totally agree with that. But I know some people do like to be very exact, and I am kind of an exact person on things. But in this case, no, it's a cup. I don't even think I own an 8-ounce mug. Thanks for the swallow, right? Sometimes I feel like this goes too fast. So an 8-ounce, I'd be like, okay, well, let me go get another cup of coffee. But anyways, I'm anxious to see what y'all's little decision there, your debate on it or whatever. So it is another week of the Warden Report, y'all. And things are, I guess, going well. We are almost through January. In fact, I think when this post, let me look here, because today's technically the 24th. Yeah. When this post next Wednesday, it's the last day of January. I was talking to Heath about this last night. I'm like, I cannot believe how fast January's gone. I feel like it was still December. I feel like December even flew by. I'm like, time just seems like it's going so fast. And I'm just shocked. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like we are almost done with January. Now, it could be because my birthday's in January, and doesn't it seem like anytime there's some kind of celebration, that month goes by really fast? So maybe that's me. Let me know, how's your January been? How did you feel with the no spend or low spend challenge? How did you end up doing with that? Is that something you would like to do in the future? Or if you watched us talking about it and we were doing Sunday lives, how did you feel about that? Like, is this something, maybe you didn't do it this month, but do you feel like, okay, this is something I will try in the future? So I'm excited to hear what you think about that. I definitely enjoyed it. I mean, I love to save. So any way I can save, I'm all for it. Heath, he gave a lot of pushback at first, as he was just like, oh my gosh, I think it was just the idea. But then when push came to shove, he was just like, oh, you know what, it hasn't been bad. And I'm like, exactly. Now, I would say my intention was to spend very little on groceries, but I have not always followed that. Because if there was something that was a really good deal, then I went ahead and bought it. And then like last week, I could have saved, but because I used to have auto shipment for toilet paper, because of the whole COVID thing. So Amazon will remind me, but every time they remind me, I always double check and see who has the best price, and because you can always skip a shipment. So I always do that. So I skipped it. But I asked him, I said, oh, how much? Because he usually refills all the toilet paper. It's like his joy. And just like he loves to get the mail. Does anybody else? Okay, I want to know, who loves to go get the mail? Or do you have a partner that's like they're like, oh, I'm going to go get the mail. Like every day, they just get so excited. Even on days that there's no mail, they kind of like, oh, it's going to go get the mail, but they don't deliver today. And I'm like, I mean, it's mostly junk. Honestly, like, it's junk 90% of the time. Or what's so funny, because this is the house that I grew up in, right? And I bought it from my mother. She will still get mail here. And it's been 20 years. It has, going on 21 years since I have lived in this, or bought this house, right? And she still gets mail. And then just, that's all it is. It's just junk, right? And so she don't care because it's nothing like she needs. It's just junk mail. But for some reason, they still have her name on it. And we have a few other things like that. It's just like, but why are you in a rush? Like before Heath, I would check the mail maybe once a week. Like I was like, oh, sometimes it would be like they would leave a note like, please get your mail out of the mailbox, because it was getting so full. I'm just like, it's just not appealing, because basically any bill or any important information I have emailed to me. So I just figure anything that's in the mailbox probably isn't worth it. I mean, every once in a while we do have something nice, but generally, no. So I got off on a tangent. Sorry about that. So back to Heath with the no spend and our grocery budget. So I did go over. Originally, I said I wanted to only spend like $10 a week, which I knew that was drastically low. But we do have we've been tackling the freezer in the pantry. However, I was just like, well, let's just see, what we could do. But I would go to the store and find things at a good discount. So back to the toilet paper, I asked Heath, I said, oh, since that's another one of his joys is refilling the toilet paper in both bathrooms. So, in the hall bathroom, I redid an old, it's kind of like a trunk. I redid it like kind of, gothy, witchy thing going on. It's all black and it's got a jeweled spider on it. And then it says be witchy, I think, on top or something. That we put toilet paper in. And then in our master, we have like a little toilet paper holder, and he fills that up. Like, it's really his joy. So I asked him, I said, well, how much toilet paper we have? Because we keep it like in a spare closet, the extra, right? And he's like, oh, we have like one left. And I'm thinking one roll, right? One left. That's what he said. Well, we have like one left. And I was like, okay, so I better get toilet paper. And the cheapest was actually Aldi. So I did go through, and how I determine the cheapest is I look at how many sheets per roll and how many rolls do you get in that, and then the price divided by that, right? And so I get it down to the penny. And I was like, okay, Aldi still has theirs at the best price because they still had it on sale. So I got another one of those, and when I come home to put it in there, I'm like, we already had another pack. He was like, yeah, I told you we had one. It's like, okay, when I heard one, my mind was like one roll, which I guess I should have known because he would have been freaking out. And so we have, I counted. So I'm going to keep count. This is probably insane. I'm going to keep count. So I see how long it takes us to go through. So we have, as of when I counted this weekend, 51 rolls of, mega rolls of toilet paper. They're like 400 sheets each. So we have 51. So I'm going to keep count and see how long it takes us to go through 51 rolls of toilet paper. I'm just curious, right? Then I can like budget in and be like, oh, okay, so every X amount of time, you're going to have to spend an extra $12 to $13 on toilet paper or something. I know, that's probably a little extreme, but oh, it's fun for me. So I'm keeping that, and then I noticed that my car notes, because we still do have car notes, and yeah, after listening to all the financial channels, they tell you all the time, oh, you should only pay cash for a car, don't have a car note. Well, we didn't do that. At the time, I thought about it, paying cash for my Highlander, and then I was like, oh, I'll just put that in the bank. You know how that goes. Which I guess all things work out, because, you know, then things happened, and we did actually need that. But anyways, so I figured out I only have less than 2 years left on our car notes. So I'm super excited. So now every month of my budget, I'm counting down how many payments are left. So that's exciting. And what I was kind of talking to Heath about, it's something we'll probably decide at the end of this year. But I was like, okay, right now, our goal is to have our emergency fund and to have our tax money all saved by the end of the first quarter. And I am on point and probably a little ahead of doing that. So I'm super excited, like, yay, yes. And so this month, really focusing on doing a no spend and focusing on our budget, I think really helped us, because there was times where I was like, well, instead of like that $50 just sitting in my bank account, I'm going to move it over to my HISA, so I'm not touching it. So I'm not going to be like, oh, okay, well, we can do that because we got $50. No, it's going to go directly into my HISA, and it's really helped y'all. So with that said, we're on point to getting to that initial goal. So I'm doing that 12-week in a year. So that's how I did my budget, is the first 12 weeks, what are my goals, meeting those goals, and getting to that. So I'm really excited. So I think that is helping. Let me know. I'm sure I asked this last week, if you read the 12-week year, and what do you think, and have you implemented it? So that is, I would say I've mostly implemented it. The only thing is I don't, they suggest that, you know, every day you spend 5 to 10 minutes reviewing your goals and seeing how you're doing. I don't consistently do that, because sometimes I just don't have time to sit there and, okay, 5 minutes, let's look at these. I try. I don't promise I do it every day, and I think they suggested first in the morning. It might be the afternoon by the time I get to it. But anyways, so yes, that is going really well. I'm excited about that. One thing we will be doing, and I spoke to a gentleman yesterday. I was researching on Google. His company has really good reviews on Google and everything. Read it and researched it. Plus, I've been researching on my own if we were to put in our own attic blown-in insulation, and figuring out how much that would cost, and you know, the movability of me to go throughout the attic and do that myself, and figuring out that cost for everything, right? Well, when I talked to him, now he gave me a rough estimate, and it really isn't that much more than if we did it ourselves. It's about $500 more, but for that, he's going to do like the whole house, except for the garage, of course, but like over our kitchen as well. Whereas if I was going to do it, it's probably just going to be over the bedroom areas, because it is a little tricky to get over to the kitchen area. Like I'm still wondering if I can even get into the attic to just do this part of the house, and then to be able to move it over to the kitchen area. I was just like, I don't know. It's been so long since I've been up in the attic. I mean, probably decades, that I don't exactly remember. So I am going to try to get there so I can look in the attic and see how, you know, is it easy for me to get around? Because I know when Renee was here, she was like, oh, you have to be Laura Croft to get around your attic. And I was like, oh goodness. So I will go up there and take a look and just see how it is. But after talking to him, this guy was really nice, really educational. He was really explaining the whole thing. A lot of it I already knew because I'm like, well, I've been researching it, right? But he was being really thorough and everything. And I just really, I got a good vibe talking with him, and felt like, you know, yeah, this is something he understands, and he knows how to do it. And he didn't see any issues with, you know, coming to our house and doing that. So excited about that. So we might go ahead and spend the extra $500 just to have somebody else do it, which would take some weight off of me, you know, not because it is a little scary when you've never done something, and to blow that all in the attic and everything. It's just kind of like, I'm sure I could do it, right? Because I'm of the mindset, if somebody else could do it, I know I could do it, right? So it's just, I have to get up there and see how able-bodied am I to walk around up there. And like Heath was saying, his biggest fear is, what if I get stuck or fall, then who's going to get me out? I'm like, well, probably myself. That's usually how it goes. So we'll just see. But I feel like that really, his price wasn't that much more that I might be able to justify that. So if all goes well, it'd either be, I was thinking end of April, but I might be able to push it to the end of March. So that would be exciting if we get that done. And I just feel like that would be a huge benefit to us, you know, to have that nice insulated attic. I think that it would more than pay for itself with our electric bill. Like, I think it would make a huge impact on our electric bill. So, you know, this past year, the electricity was just outrageous. So I'm hoping if we have a really good, he said he does an R38. I think if we have that setting, it will definitely show in our electric bill. And then that way, it'll, the extra $500 I'd pay for him to do it, I will probably get that back just in the summer alone, and the insulation will probably pay for itself within a year, I imagine. So give me your thoughts on it. What do you think? How is, what's your experience with it? I'm really excited. I've done the research. I really like the blown-in fiberglass. I think overall that'll be the best value, and it's got a lifetime warranty. So that's mine. Let me know I love to hear y'all's thoughts and inputs on this. If you enjoy this type of content, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, y'all. We really appreciate that. And then I'll check in with you throughout the week. So this is a long opening, but I have a lot to say today. It's Thursday, or better known as Friday Eve. I have my coffee here. It's almost 11, but I've been sipping on it for a good 30 minutes or so. So, y'all, first of all, just love the coffee today. This is really good. I was going to talk to you about something, and then now I forgot. But one thing I do want to talk about, and I'm just like super excited about this. Let me know. Have you heard of Mark Cuban's Cost Plus drug company? This, oh my gosh. So I was, in the research last week, I talked about GoodRx. I was listening, I listen to a lot of different financial and frugal channels, and somebody mentioned this for prescription medications, and not even, you don't even have to go through your insurance. Like, they'll check and see which is the better price, right? So with Heath's, so they don't work with all of the different insurances, right? So I put in his, he's got the CVS. They said they don't currently work with them for the specialty medication. So he is going to have to do generic, like they didn't even have the name brand. But what you could do, go to the Cost Plus, and you could then search for either your condition. Like they had a whole list, and I saw multiple sclerosis. I clicked on that, and then it showed what medications that they cover for multiple sclerosis. And the generic Aubagio was on there. Woohoo! Looked it up, and then they give you what the price would be. He gets a 90-day supply without insurance, right? This is not going through his insurance. This is because they said, no, they don't work with CVS as far as, I guess, the specialty or whatever. I entered all his information. They were like, no. But the price without insurance, y'all, for 90-day supply, $28.40. $28. Yeah, last year we didn't have to pay anything because MS 1-to-1 always helped us with the Aubagio, because who can afford $3,000 a month? But this is cheaper than GoodRx, and we don't have to go to Walmart to get it. This is directly through them. They ship it. All we had to do is send a form. They give you the form. So I went through, registered him account on Cost Plus, and then they give you a form, fill it out, send it to your doctor, and you tell the doctor, hey, this is what you need to include when you send my prescription over. The doctor did that within it, like they just did it yesterday or today, whenever. Today it came in, they said, hey, we got it, we're ready to process your order. This, last year, if y'all have followed us for any length of time, last year was such a struggle. Every single time we had to refill his medication, it was hours, literally hours on the phone to deal with this. This took less than 5 minutes. Like, I feel like I'm going to cry because it was just so easy. So easy. And really, $30 for 3 months, that's less than $10 a month, y'all, for his medication. So I went ahead, and technically he still has enough Aubagio through the end of February, maybe the beginning of March, something like that. So I was going to have him do kind of what Rickwin suggested, is kind of do both for a while, like do one day, I guess, Aubagio, the next day the generic, and back and forth. Is that correct? Let me know below. But just the ease of this, it was so easy. And then we don't have to deal with the insurance at all. It was still cheaper than with the insurance, because the insurance was saying something like $1,000 a month. It was still cheaper and so easy. This was so easy. So I've ordered it. They're shipping it. It says that he'll get it in 5 days. So if you have any type of medications that you're currently, going to a pharmacy for or whatever, go to Mark Cuban Cost Plus. I'll try to put the link down below and just check. Just check. You never know. If you are currently paying for any medications, check his site and see. It might be cheaper. And I'm always open to saving money, right? Like any way we could save money, even if it's just a few dollars a month, it's worth it. Like I remember several years ago when I was taking care of my grandmother, every month I was having to go get her prescriptions. Well, it seemed like every week because it was like a new one refilled all the time. She was like taking, I don't know, 12 to 15 medications. It was crazy. Well, I noticed, she was having to spend like almost $200 a month, and she was on a fixed income. And I'm like, so I started looking into it. I said, you could get these on, because they're all maintenance, we could get these on auto ship, and it would be free. Like your insurance, she had TRICARE, your insurance covers maintenance medications on the monthly ship, or whatever it's called, for free. And she's like, oh, what? I didn't know. And I said, yeah. And so I signed her up. Immediately, she's saying $200 a month just by doing that. So, y'all, there are ways to save money. So, please check out his site. If you're on any medication, here's another great way we could save money on prescriptions. And this, let me know. Let me know below if you've heard of it and if you're going to check, and if his will actually save you some money. Please let me know. I'm anxious to hear feedback. My experience is really positive. I'm just really, really happy, y'all. My lunch today, I went with bacon. So it's some thick cut bacon. It's actually Right brand we got on discount. Got a jalapeno I sauteed in that grease. And then some olives, red kraut, our kimchi, and I've got some ginger, an avocado, yay, with some olive oil and seasonings. And then on the side here, I took the rest of the bacon grease and some mustard, apple cider vinegar, and seasonings. Just kind of mix that up so it'd be kind of like a dipping sauce. Oh, I am so excited. So I'm going to start with the usual. So we have cream cheese stuffed jalapenos, mushrooms. I've got an avocado with some olive oil. And then I've got my fermented sauerkraut and kimchi. And then over here is some air fryer sweet potatoes. And this, y'all, this is the star. Kind of see the bone there. This is beef ribs. And I seasoned with kind of an Indian spice. And then I made a glaze. And this glaze, y'all, so it's Indian-inspired, Middle East-inspired glaze. It, to me, almost tastes like a nutty, sweet, and spicy type of sauce. But there's no nut butter in there. But it has this nutty flavor to it. So I took some of that sauce and drizzled it over the sweet potato fries. Oh my gosh, I am super excited. And we're going to be making this on the Friday Night Feast. So if you are like, how do I make this? And you didn't watch the Friday Night Feast, go watch it now after this. Happy Friday. Oh, that's the picture of the background. I thought it was my hair. How's everyone doing? So I have a question. Today was my payday. How my job does it is twice a year we get a PTO bank or whatever. So January 1st, July 1st, we get X number of PTO. If you don't use your PTO by the end of the year, you lose anything over 40 hours. So basically up to 40 hours, if you haven't used it by December 31st, you get it paid out like the end of January or beginning of February. Last year, I thought it was February. This year, it was today. So, I basically try to leave the 40 hours in there. I do utilize some of my sick time because that is purely a use it or lose it each year. So every January 1st, we get a bucket of sick time. So I utilize both, right? And then try to leave the 40 hours because I look at it as, oh, okay, I kind of get a little bonus, right? What do you do? Because I was talking to my work sister and she's like, I used all mine up. Like I never have any extra. So are you someone that you, like, tell me, do you think I'm being silly doing that? Or do you think it's better to use it up and have that? Now, caveat, I do love my job. I love working, right? So to me, like, I know some people, they're just like, oh, just having a day off is a day off, right? Where I'm kind of like, no, I enjoy, like, I actually look forward to going to work. I like working. And so it's kind of hard for me to take a day off. Even if I wake up, some morning, especially when it's winter time, I wake up and I'm like, oh, it's so cozy in my bed. I don't want to get up. But then I'm like, but then I would be bored. Like, I would legit be bored. Like, I know Heath is not like that at all. Like, if he could have every day off, he would. I'm just, I guess that's why, opposites attract kind of thing. Because I'm like, no, I realize I would be bored halfway through the day. I'd be like, oh, this morning I just want to go work. So I enjoy working. So I plan that because I feel like, well, it's kind of like an extra bonus that I could put into savings or what have you. I know last year I used it to help pay off our cruise. So things like that. And it's just, a nice little extra. Or do you think that, no, Shelly, you should be using your PTO up all year? And then enjoy that time off. But time off, to me, if I'm going to take a vacation, it's going to cost money. And like this year, I'm already thinking, since we obviously do not have any keto events planned, we're not doing the low carb cruise. I'm like, well, when are we even going to take a vacation this year? Like, how am I going to use up that much vacation time in a year? And I'm struggling to even think because, like, I don't foresee myself even taking 2 weeks off. And I obviously have to get down to 40 hours because if it's over 40, you do lose it. So I'm like, okay, well, I could obviously take a lot more days off here and there, be like, oh, okay. Like, a lot of people took off around the holidays, so I could do something like that. We might go to Austin in the springtime. So then, I would take a couple days there. But yeah, most of it, I'm like, well, what am I going to do with that time off? So, I don't know. I do enjoy the extra 40 hours, but let me know what your thoughts are. Do you feel like, no, that isn't a smart thing to do? Or you think, I'm just curious. What is the thoughts on this? Would you save the 40 and get the payout in late January, early February? Or would you rather have that extra 40 hours actually off of work? What's your thoughts? Here is my gut healthy lunch today, y'all. So I've got the Pernell sausage, of course my avocados, olives, and some pickled ginger. Remember, the avocados and the olives and ginger all have prebiotic and polyphenols, which are awesome for feeding those healthy gut bacteria you want. And then also to help grow that bacteria as well, I've got my ferments here. So I've got 2 of them. This is actually a mix of my homemade kimchi and Scotty's fermented kitchen sink kimchi and Scotty's fermented garlic sauerkraut. Y'all, please do me a favor. I'm going to link our review of Scotty's fermented foods. Even if you've already seen it, please go watch the video. Let's help this small company. This is a small Houston, Texas owned company. And to help them, we need to get the word out, right? We need to help a small business. And how you can do that, even if you're like, I'm not into ferment foods, or I'm not going to order it, blah, 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 whatever it is, just watching the video, even if you've watched it, watching it again helps with those view hours, making sure you gave a thumbs up and leaving a comment. And then if you can, share it in your social media so anyone who is trying to improve their gut health, who wants to incorporate fermented foods, hopefully they will see that, or it'll be recommended on YouTube, and then they will go and purchase from Scotty. So again, even if you're not able to, just doing those simple things of watching, liking, commenting, And bonus, if you could share the video, the Scotty's fermented video, please do that, y'all. It would really help him. And I just really want to help a small business, especially one that is so focused on our gut health. Let's all rally together, Hungry Horde, and support this small business as much as you can. Happy Saturday! And I want to give a shout out. We used the last of the funds that came from Maitreya/Radical Geek, Air Frying Auntie Shauna, and Glenda, Heath's mother. And yes, so I used it all, which was perfect because it lasts all the way through January, or no spend month. So thank you so much to the three of you for getting Heath and I coffees every single week for the month of January. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so very much. And if you want to continue to support, ooh, this is hot. Dutch really gets their coffees like really hot, y'all. If you want to continue to support my coffee habit, please hit that join, or I'm sorry, I mean, you can join us too, but hit the buy me a coffee, y'all. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much again to Maitreya, Shauna, and Glenda for the coffees all of the month of January through our no spend. I really appreciate y'all so very much. And thank you for everyone. Heat's dream. Thank you to everyone for all of your support. And on for lunch today, what I've got is the Sam's jalapeno cheddar. They've redone the packaging, y'all. It now is like all natural, no nitrates, no fillers, blah, 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 blah. But anyways, it's really good. It's been a bit since we've had these, so got some. And then I've got some bacon wrapped around it. And then I've got ginger. I'm loving this pickled ginger, y'all. Olives, and then my ferment. So I've got the red kraut. I thought that would go so good with the sausage. Bell peppers, and then this is Scotty's escabeche. So it's just fermented carrots, onions, and jalapenos. It is so good, y'all. So good. And then, of course, I've got my avocado with some olive oil and seasonings. And then, of course, finishing my Dutch coffee. So excited. And, of course, I did put Redmond's smoked salt on everything. It's so good. Happy Monday. And guess what? I got my furries on again. And, yeah, it was a little chilly. It said it was 60 in the house this morning. Heath was really cold. I thought it was good. I've got my little space heater going, and I've got these on, so I'm good to go. And the sun is out, bright, beautiful. So I went out there for a few minutes with the dogs, you know, get some vitamin D in from the source. So I went up there. When I do, I always like expose my belly, right, to try to get the most amount of sun for those few minutes. So I did that. That was nice. The dogs are happy. Delilah loves it. Made my coffee. So enjoying that this morning. Really good. I'm just like, oh, this tastes so good. So I hope everyone is going to have a wonderful week and that everything is going well for you. He has been saying, oh, it's like we had a horror weekend and a horde. And that is because Friday night we had the Friday night feast. And then Saturday night we had the channel member cook along. And then yesterday we had our last financial live. So I hope y'all enjoyed that this weekend. And coming up this Friday, y'all, it is Groundhog Day. Do you do anything for Groundhog Day? Comment below. I want to see what y'all's, if you do anything, what it is you do. We, of course, will be live. And we're really excited about the recipe this week. So I hope you will be too. Happy Tuesday already, y'all. I just feel like the month has flown by. I can't believe it's already the 30th. Shout out Lisa. It's her birthday today. So y'all make sure you went and give her a happy birthday. I know when this comes out, it'll be the next day. But you could still go and say happy belated birthday if you didn't already. So that's so awesome. So shout out to January birthdays. I might be a little partial, right? So yeah, to me, I find the month has flown by, but I feel like, gosh, I can barely remember 23. Like, it flew by. This has flown by, but I think January always goes fast for me because it is my birthday, so it just seems like it goes really fast, right? So, enjoying my coffee, right? Oh, it's so good. Coffee just, the way it tastes, I'm just like, oh, this is so delicious. I have a question though. So, if you are Lord of the Rings fans, there is actually in Houston a restaurant called Hobbit Cafe. And of course, they have all kinds of Lord of the Rings memorabilia and theme to the whole restaurant. And supposedly it's really cool. I looked at their menu. The menu is, I mean, it's your typical American menu, right? Of course, they, you know, make everything sound very Hobbit-like, right? And do different nods. Like, I think something is like named after each of the characters, right? But they do have a good selection of burgers, right? Like some really neat sounding burgers. Of course, we would get it bunless, but the sides, it's just like, I wonder, I might be able to ask them. This is what I've done before. So I know they have lots of avocado because they actually have an avocado burger, right? And they put this thick chunk of avocado on top. So the sides are like rice, fries, shredded carrots, which seems really odd as a side. Shredded carrots? And something else like, I don't know, some carby thing, right? So no, the closest thing would be the shredded carrots, but that just, I don't know, that just strikes me as odd as a side. And when I saw somebody had it on their plates, that's exactly what it sounds like, just a pile of shredded carrots. So what I've done before at other restaurants, usually like burger joints where it's like you get fries or rice or something, is I'll say, hey, can I get either bacon or avocado or sauteed mushrooms? I'll just say, hey, can I get this as my side? Can I just get it as avocado? Or, and I know they have mushrooms too, or can I just get some mushrooms as a side? Just some sauteed mushrooms? You know, something that would be about the same price as like their other side options. So, I don't know. We're thinking about going. It sounds really neat, and they have some neat sounding burgers, and they look delicious. They also offer brunch, but the brunch, I mean, it's just as you would expect. It's a very, very carby brunch. So, I was like, well, maybe we go for burgers, but do we want to? Right? I need votes below. What do you think? Of course, we're not going to go in January because it's no spin, but also I don't like going out in the middle of the week. It's just odd to me. So usually if we go out, it's going to be a Saturday night or maybe Sunday for lunch. So that would be probably our option. What do you think? What do you think? I mean, it is just a burger. They do have an elk burger, so that is something different that, you know, we wouldn't normally be able to make. I mean, yeah, we could make any of these, but sometimes it's nice to have it made for you to try it. But anyways, I don't know. We'll see. I do still have a Landry's birthday gift. It's just $25, so I think we will be going there. Probably not this Saturday, maybe the following Saturday for dinner. And I might just go to Saltgrass. That just seems easier to me. I like Saltgrass and the Landry's restaurants. You know, we can pretty much get a decent steak there. And it's not too expensive. So that's probably what we'll do. Other than that, everything's going well. Enjoying my coffee. I am going to make me a kefir smoothie here in a little bit. Basically, I'm just going to blend together some kefir with blackberries, since I have them, some flax and chia seeds, or is it chia? Is it chia or chia seeds? Anyhow, I'll show you that in a minute when I do that, but yeah, everything's going well. I'm excited. I'm just like, this Friday is Groundhog Day, y'all. I'm just wow, already. So excited to see your comments this week. All right, gonna make my kefir smoothie. There's my kefir. Kind of see the flax layer, the chia seed layer, and my blackberries. It's chia, right? C-H-I-A. Chia seeds. Anyways, that's the chia seeds. And then I'm still using up the rest of this flax that I've had literally for years. But I keep these in the freezer. And here it is, all blended up. Doesn't that look delicious? That was so quick in that. And then this comes with like a little sippy cover, I guess. So you could drink it like a cup. And for my lunch today, I've got some of the chili that he made it on Sunday, but since I was fasting, this is the first time I'm getting to try it, and I get the last bowl, y'all. So it's our beef and chorizo mix, topped it with some cheese. We had like 3 slices of pepperoni. We were like, why are we keeping this? So I finished off that, and a fresh jalapeno. And then on the side here, I've got my avocado, the red kraut, kimchi, some pickled ginger, and olives. And that's lunch today. Dinner tonight, I'm having a sausage. That's the ones from Sam's that are bacon wrapped. Side of mustard. And then I've also got some, I'm going to call them stuffies from now on. It's cream cheese stuffed mushrooms and jalapenos topped with everything but the bagel seasoning. Some, I think these are, what are they, Dave's or something, hot pickles, and red kraut. And that's my dinner, along with a sparkling water, which is the pumpkin pie. I counted today, and I believe I have 17 8-packs, so I think I'm pretty good. That wraps up another week of the Warden Report. I hope y'all enjoyed. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please do that. And all of the wonderful comments. Thank you guys so very much. Thanks to the Horde. And I can't wait to see all the comments on Scotty's fermented food. So if you have it, I'll make sure that that video is the one you can follow from here. And please go see that video. Let's help a small fermenting business, right? We got to help these small companies, y'all. So we could do our part by just getting views on there, giving it a thumbs up, and sharing it with other people who are like, I don't know where to buy fermented foods. Well, here's a great place that will ship to you. Thank y'all again. Please stay tuned to see all of our wonderful channel members. Y'all are amazing. I had so much fun with so many of you this past Saturday, and I can't wait to see you again in February. So if you're interested in joining our channel, hit that little join button or buy me a coffee, and there is membership on Buy Me a Coffee as well. So either way works. And thank y'all so much. Have a wonderful week. Bye.